Hey guys, welcome to the Indian Unlocks. This is your host Rishi K. In the last episode of Fun with Ryzen, we had all the parts listed, and it was kind of an introduction to AMD's latest Zen series of processors. Now, in this video, let us talk more about the Zen in the Ryzen. In the industry dominated by Intel, AMD was sure to face a lot of resistance. If AMD were to compete for dominance again, they had to make it a tough fight, since Intel was undoubtedly at the top till now. But with Ryzen, AMD was confident that it can take over the market share that they deserve while pleasing the hardcore AMD fans who were waiting for so long for AMD to release some ball new hardware. And in came Ryzen, the ray of hope that AMD fans were waiting for, with its 8-core glory and 16 threads of pure power and a lot more than Intel ever offered to the mainstream consumers. AMD in Q1 launched the Ryzen platform, one of the most awaited desktop class processors that PC industry had seen in the last 5 years or so from the Team Red. Since the original launch of Ryzen, we have come a long way, and with many people facing a lot of issues due to unstable platform and long-due stabilization issues, to the AGESA update, that is AGESA update, and constantly fixing bugs, making the platform much more pleasant to use and recommended to any but the most newest to the PC builders. All thanks to the new AM4 platform, which AMD was confident would deliver much higher performance at a very significantly low prices. Ready for the AMD Ryzen 7th Gen APUs and Athlon X4 processors, the AM4 platform offers the latest and the fastest DDR4 memories, PCIe 3.0 and NVMe technologies, as well as the first native USB 3.1 Gen 2 support on the chipset, with the processor's direct SATA and USB connectivity configurable for the real-world flexibility as well. Straight from the X370 chipset, meant for enthusiast class features and much more lower power control over the overclocking and tweaking features, to the dual GPU support offered thanks to the PCIe Gen 3 slots, to the much pocket friendly yet providing a lot of features similar to the X370, that is a B370 chipset that was meant for the people who were not much keen on overclocking or the dual GPU features but wanted all the value from the AM4 platform that it could provide. There are other chipsets as well that were launched, but we won't be looking at them in this video per se. Let's have a look at some interesting facts about Ryzen. All AM4 chipsets including Ryzen are unlocked and overclockable. That is really awesome if you ask me, because it is like getting few percentage of more power and performance from the same hardware you already paid for, and it's really awesome. In the real world though, the OC headroom isn't that much to reach 4.0 GHz if you ask me, but yeah, we will look at the charts later what we have achieved in our overclocking results. But it is quite good with the respects to the base clocks and these chips that they are rated for. Also keep in mind these are true 8 physical cores and 16 threads on a Ryzen 7 chip that we are talking about. So yeah, it's quite good indeed with that achievement. Also actually you don't need to overclock the Ryzen out of the box because it is intelligent enough to do so on its own. Due to a tech called as XFR, that is extended frequency range. Simply put, this is auto overclocking in layman's term. Although for this to work, you'll need to provide sufficient cooling. You will need a beefy air or water cooler, and then you should be good. There are other some features and things like SenseMI and Precision Boost, but we will skip that for now. Let's talk about Ryzen now and the true power that it holds. Or is it just a hype train? All Ryzen CPUs have up to 8 cores and 16 threads with 512 KB per core of L2 cache and up to 16 MBs of L3 cache, with TDP ranging from 65 to a reasonable 95 watts. Let me remind you that the Intel i7 5020K that I have in my main editing and gaming rig has a TDP of about 140 watts for 6 cores and 12 thread at 2. So considering that 95 watt is reasonably chilly. Apart from that, it also has native support for DDR4 2666 MHz RAM. Although in the start launch phase it was not compatible with many of the sticks, but now we are seeing many DDR4 custom tuned for Ryzen hitting 3000 MHz plus easily. The Dazzle kit from ADATA that we have for testing has no issues reaching 3000 MHz at 1.35 volts easily. Why we are talking so much about memory? Well, memory space for Ryzen is really important due to the core interconnect that is called as the Infinity Fabric, which is responsible for the core-to-core communication and multi-core performance. Ryzen benefits highly with high-speed RAMs. As all of you must have heard from time to time on the internet, it is simply due to this interconnect. It's because of this, Ryzen when paired with a faster RAM delivers much more higher performance when compared to the stock ROM at 2133 MHz or so. So I'm hoping that you have a little bit of idea what to expect from Ryzen, and if you want an in-depth Ryzen informative video, do let me know. I would love to share that with you guys. But due to time constraints, let's move on to the real world scenarios. As our config was discussed in the last video, I'm not going to repeat it, but here is the product list that we are going to use. And yes, we have changed many of the hardware in the upcoming days, so we'll let you know from time to time when and what hardware that we are using for the same test. Alternatively, you can also check the description to check out our blog for more precise data on our testing. Once our test bench was assembled and ready to rock, next step was to install a fresh copy of Windows 10 on the ADATA SSD. Thanks to the brilliant speeds of the SSD, we installed Windows in no time, and our boot up times are really very fast, much faster than you would think. From rest, the PC wakes up to the OS in less than 20 seconds. This includes the time between pressing the power button and the OS completely loading up. Excellent. We will be posting a review of the SSD soon, but till then we are pretty positive about this. Do check out the channel after a few days, or you can turn on the notifications if you like. Once that was done, I quickly installed the drivers and necessary Windows updates, which definitely took a lot of time thanks to my internet connection. But anyways, after all that was done, the first thing I did was just install Steam and played some CSGO for a few hours. I was getting very good frame rates in the game, and when I was checking the maximum temps of the CPU, it was quite under control with the stock cooler as well. AMD ships some of the processors with this cooler inside the box, which is really great to see since it will definitely help new beginners to save some money while building their first high-end PC. The AMD cooler performs quite well, although you should not expect it to be as good as the liquid cooler, but nevertheless, it keeps the processor quite cool and the noise levels are also on the low side as well. Great. Now let's enjoy some noobish gameplay by yours truly. While I was monitoring the FPS for this, I thought let's run some benchmarks also. Although I did not have much time at my disposal due to all India exams approaching in the near few days, but I had a few rounds of Metro last night and other PC benchmarks tested on the system, and here are the results. So as you can see from the benchmarks and the results of the gameplay as well, Ryzen is a really awesome platform, and I hope this video helped you in understanding some of the many features of the Ryzen as a processor and AIM4 platform in general. In the next video, however, let's look more into in-depth of the hardware that the AMD motherboards has to offer, and maybe let's try some overclocking as well while we are at it. So I hope you learned something today. I am Rishi K for the Indian Unlocks, signing off until next time. You guys have a great day. Bye bye.